Welcome to the
Are we going?
Welcome to Basic Training.
Are we recording?
We're recording, right?
Can I say yes?
Yes.
Okay. I'm so confused.
We are recording. Welcome to Basic Training, a podcast for people who need help. I'm Jake Cornell.
I'm Talia.
And we're here to give advice, but first we're going to catch up because I haven't seen you in a minute.
Yeah.
Wait, you bought a new face at Nordstrom Rack.
This was a year ago. I just haven't used the new face.
Okay, wait, but
Is it working, anyone? If you're watching on YouTube?
Well, you have great skin.
I take prescription meds for it. I didn't.
Accutane or retinol?
Spironolactone. It doesn't work for men. That's why you don't know about it.
It literally doesn't work for men at all?
It doesn't work for men, no.
What is it?
This is riveting, by the way. Are you guys so excited to be with us this week? It's just, if you're a woman and you're struggling with hormonal or cystic acne or any type of annoying little acne, but not like Accutane level acne.
I understand.
Just like normal to moderate acne.
Yeah.
You want to take spironolactone, try it. I think for men, something in it doesn't do anything for acne, but it helps with your heart. And for me, it just does the acne thing.
Whoa.
And I had terrible skin growing up. So to hear anyone say now you have nice skin, it's like
You do have nice skin.
Thank you. It really means so much it's like surreal. I never thought that I would ever get to a point where I would hear that. So the point is,
when did your skin get bad?
It got bad when I was in 8th grade, I remember. I remember waking up with a pimple that turned slowly into like what was a cystic zit.
Yeah.
Like it was really below the surface. Ugh. And I tried to pop it, whatever. It just kept getting bigger throughout the day to the point where I was telling people in my marine bio class that I had bumped into somebody and I kind of got accidentally like hit a locker and it bumped me in the head because nobody could even believe that it was a zit, including myself.
Whoa.
So I was lying and being like, yeah, it's just a bump. People were like, damn, what a bump. Like everyone thought I got hit. That's how big this first cystic zit was. And it just continued and got worse. I have all these photos. Maybe we'll promote the pod with those photos.
Talia's bad acne photos.
It's really bad. And having nice skin is like a huge deal for me. I would skip out on parties. People don't talk about how much that hurts a young woman's confidence.
When did you get better?
Not until senior year of college.
And was it because, maybe the reason it doesn't work for men is because, do men get hormonal acne? Like not the way women do, I don't think.
Yeah, I think so. You're asking the wrong girl.
I feel like I hear about women having hormonal acne a lot more than I hear about men having hormonal acne.
I know I have a lot less sympathy for men who have hormonal acne than women. I really do. And I made a video about this and got a lot of heat, but men who are balding, it's the same thing. Take care of yourselves. Come up with a routine. The entitlement to think that we just are going to love you anyway when we don't like go to a dermatologist is ridiculous. Go to a doctor. Straight men don't want to try.
But some guys look hot bald. Some guys look really hot bald.
If you're happy to be bald, be bald. And also, I have to do the disclaimer. I'm not talking about people with cancer or like anything where you can't grow hair. No one thinks
you're talking about like alopecia.
Okay, fine, good. Because a lot of people do. But my point is, and we can't get into this now, if you just have like the classic like 24-year-old, it's thinning on the top and you're like freaking out and all you do is complain about it, how about go to the doctor? And don't ever complain. If you choose not to go to the doctor, great. You're going to find a lovely girl who loves you and your bald head.
Also, like, the doctor in 2023 is like an app with like a chat function.
Thank
you. It is so easy to go to the doctor.
Oh my God.
Doctor. It's crazy.
Oh, and self-medicating your erectile dysfunction. Just because you can order Hims online, Viagra, does not mean that you should do that. Like, get help. Talk to a professional. Figure out what's wrong with you. And then come up with your routines. And women put so much into our bodies, do so much to fit into this world in an easy way. Please put a second of thought before you complain to me about how you look. Think about it, or how you feel. Think about it and go to the doctor. What a start. What were we talking about?
Well, you had mentioned right before we started recording that you got a new face at Nordstrom Rack, which I was going to say, like, Nordstrom Rack is like one of my favorite places.
Oh, I'm there every day.
Which one is your new Nordstrom Rack?
Union
Square, baby!
You like it though?
I love...
Is there another Nordstrom Rack
There's one in the 30s, but we don't talk about her.
Oh, yeah, fuck that.
I've gone a few times, but the Nordstrom Rack in Union Square for 9 years of my life has been I would say I've bought 95% of the shoes I've purchased since moving to New York City 9 years ago in that Nordstrom Rack.
All of my shampoo, skincare, Barefoot Dreams blankets, they're just like they're throwing them out of the store.
I need to spread my net wider in Nordstrom Rack because I really go to that back right size 13 shoe corner.
Yeah.
And that's my home. That's my home.
You live there?
And it's just such a safe space.
There are certain stores.
It's back in the corner. It's like so tucked away.
Yeah.
You can't even see the rest of the store. It feels so small. I love that no one offers to help you.
Right.
No one offers to help you.
The line is, would you like to get that?
Who is it?
Anyway.
Oh, we forgot to call in Jade.
Oops. 1 moment, please. We're going to call in our producer and do the one thing that we're supposed to do. Do you want to set up your computer?
Yeah.
Anyway, write in if you have a store that you feel so at home at that you could spend the night in there if they locked you inside and you wouldn't complain at all. If I got locked in the TJ Maxx in Chelsea for a night, they didn't go through the store and I fell asleep in there and they locked me in. Is that lawsuit worthy? I don't know. I wouldn't press charges. I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't sue. I'd stay in there and just be perfectly cozy and comfortable. The bathroom in the Nordstrom Rack in Union Square, I feel really at home there. And the Container Store.
I don't fuck with the Container Store. I've never been to the Container Store.
It's really, it's a different vibe, and you have to be in a much better mood because it might bring you down. It's sort of like taking acid. You have to be in
Have you ever taken acid?
No, but this is what I've heard. Okay. You have to be in a really good headspace to go into the Container Store in Chelsea. If you're already in a good mood and you already feel good,
I see.
It's not going to make you feel less confident. But if you're already feeling like shit and you go in there, you're going to feel poor, gross, dirty, ugly.
Okay.
You have to be careful.
I guess the thing I don't understand about the Container Store is once you have your containers, aren't you good? Why are you going back?
I can always use another container.
Okay.
And I'm the least organized person on earth.
Okay.
I just like to have boxes of shit.
Okay. I guess it's I feel like it's more common to buy the things you put in containers than to buy the containers. But if you have a ton of containers.
I buy both. I have a shopping addiction. I think I really do have a shopping addiction, and I could benefit from Shoppers Anonymous or something. Is there a thing?
Why do you think it's an addiction?
I can't even, when I get invited to something, like an event that I don't even care about, I don't give two shits about who's there. It doesn't matter. I look in my closet. I don't even look. I'm I don't have anything for this. I have to go shopping. I'll take any excuse. And it'll make me feel better about walking into something, knowing that it's a new thing. And then I don't even care about the thing that I bought. I will never wear it again. And it's just a white shirt or something. I bought this at Marshall's yesterday.
Basically, you're saying you value the act of the shopping over the product.
Yeah, I think so. But it doesn't give me a high. But maybe it's a high that I don't even notice. It's like nicotine. I don't even notice the head, the head rush anymore.
Interesting.
Speaking of that,
maybe
I have mine on me. Okay, can you tell me a little bit about your week? Let's move on from me.
You're mad at me for
or Nordstrom Rack or whatever.
Well, Nordstrom Rack is my safe space. My week was good. I went to the wedding upstate. I went to the wedding upstate, which was very fun. It was an outdoor, it was a music festival wedding. It was at a music festival venue, and there was stages and bands. It was kind of crazy. It was
that's actually kind of fun.
I had a great time. It was but the only thing that really sucked about this wedding was that it's in tick country. So I'm just constantly afraid I have ticks on my body.
Is there a difference between, are ticks, they suck your blood, right?
Yeah, but you can get Lyme disease from them, which I have the ultimate, which is the ultimate scary.
Well, did you go in any tall grass?
No, but we were in the woods the whole time.
I learned that from Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's the only thing I know about Lyme. Were you in any tall grass?
Yeah, because that's where you get deer ticks and deer ticks. Yeah. If you're you should know this. If you're outside of the city, anywhere on Long Island, upstate New York, you shouldn't walk on the grass. And if you do, you should check yourself for ticks after.
How? I wouldn't even know the difference between that and a mole. I wouldn't even be able to spot it.
It's a bug.
Why?
It's not you could look and be oh, that's a bug embedded in my skin.
I don't check my body enough.
That's why you should. That's what I'm telling you to do.
Yeah. I need to check my freckles and things. Do you do a once over often?
For cancer moles? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. People say I know something the back of my hand. I've never even looked at the back of my hand.
Interesting.
I wouldn't know if a new freckle was there.
Yeah, I feel I know the pattern of the freckles on my body. I also have a birthmark on my back that looks like a telephone. Fun fact. I don't think the internet knows about that.
I have a birthmark on my vagina.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Does it look like anything?
No, actually it's kind of a little heart, but it's teeny. It's like a freckle. Isn't it cute? Isn't that really cute?
Say it's cute. Can you say it's cute, please? Tell me it's cute.
So you're worried you have a tick?
What if it's actually been a tick that you've had for 30 years? However old you are.
It hasn't. Okay, I'm not going to go into detail about my vagina freckle. Go ahead.
But now I have to drive. I have a show in Pittsburgh this coming weekend, and I have to drive I have to drive myself there alone.
Are you getting paid enough for this?
Yeah.
To drive 6 hours? Is it 6 hours?
It's 6 or 7, yeah.
I didn't realize that Pittsburgh is like Ohio.
This happened to me last time I did Pittsburgh because this is my second time doing that.
So far inland.
I hadn't like booked travel to it, and my friend was like, "How are you getting to Pittsburgh?" And I was like, "I don't know, I'm gonna figure it out." He was like, "Are you going next week?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Do you know where Pittsburgh is?" And I was like, "No." And I like looked at a map, and I was like, "Fuck."
Why aren't you flying?
Because randomly to fly from New York to Pittsburgh is so expensive.
Really?
So expensive. Like minimum $500 is what I can find.
So what about this show is making it feel worth the 6-hour drive? I don't know if anything is worth that in my book.
Well, I love performing live.
Well, yes, but you perform live here.
Yeah.
What about this Pittsburgh show is special?
The club is really cool.
Okay.
They pay me. They put me up.
Oh, that's nice.
I get to like work on stuff that like I get to work on stuff. I have like a full hour to work on stuff. Like just because I do shows in New York every week, a bunch of them, but like very few of them am I doing longer than like 15 minutes on.
Right.
So like getting to do a full hour is like creatively helpful in certain ways. It has like benefits.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for explaining that to me.
Absolutely.
I was curious. Why would someone I don't know, your little your theater's right over there that I see you at.
I know, I'm going there after this.
Oh,
The show's tonight.
a little show. Go see Jake live.
Please,
Support.
for the love of God, come see me live.
Definitely support.
Gorge Night at Union Hall every month. Wait, what were you up to this week?
I had a couple little tiny funny things happen that I wrote down little titles for, and I was going to read them out and see which one you wanted to hear because I don't want to do all of them.
Okay, what are my options?
Tell me which ones. We'll narrow it down to like one or two. Which ones sound the most interesting?
Great.
Call in and let me know which ones we don't choose that you sound interesting. Okay. Number 1, locked out crying girl. Number 2, Fran Leibowitz cough. Number 3, canceled on eating disorder Twitter. Number 4, Lizzo.
What was the last one?
Lizzo.
Let's do. I definitely need canceled on eating disorder Twitter.
Cool.
And I definitely need locked out crying girl. I think.
Okay. Locked out crying girl could be interesting. Fran Leibowitz cough didn't do anything for you?
Well, I like love Fran Leibowitz and she coughs. Like I guess.
No, I coughed.
On Fran Leibowitz.
Basically.
Oh. Okay.
That's it. That's the story.
Did she say anything?
I'm walking down the street. Something got stuck in my. You know that coughing is so embarrassing. I hate not being able to catch my breath.
Oh,
it's so
bad.
humiliating.
Yeah.
You feel like a little baby, like a toddler coughing.
Yeah, it's
so.
humiliating.
Ugh. It reminds me of like the gross kids that would pick their nose in elementary school. But I got this tickle in my throat as I was walking down the street, and it came on so suddenly, and I just go, and I'm having like a coughing fit, just trying to get this out. And I'm alone. I wasn't necessarily embarrassed because I just thought I was alone, but I realized as I was coughing, someone like really took the long way ahead of me and made like such a face, like such a gesture away from me. And I did a double take. I'm like, that is Miss Fran Leibowitz. That is really her. It was, I took a photo. It was 100% like from the back when she was way far away. But I had to zoom in and be like, it is her. She has her cuffed jeans. I knew. It was her. And she could not have gotten away from me faster. She's like, nope.
Fair play.
Fair play.
No
so
shame
Fran,
there.
I loved it.
Yeah.
That's what happened. I had to say it.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, you want eating disorder Twitter?
Yeah, I do need to know about that one.
I tweeted. Twitter, so the way that you feel about your shows, like when you get an hour to experiment, I feel that way about my Twitter, in that it's a fun way for me to like, I just feel that my Twitter audience is a little bit more mature. They share my sense of humor more than anyone else. They're smaller. It's like a consolidated group of people who get me and know me and follow me there.
Okay, cool.
So I feel that I can like say, like I can just be myself there more.
Nice.
So I made a tweet that I was like, this, if it hits the wrong audience, it might not work, but my followers are going to get it.
Okay.
I saw this tweet that a girl tweeted that said, quote, is she skinny or is it just a good outfit? Who cares?
I saw your tweets about that. Oh, wait, we were texting when this happened.
Yeah, no, you came over to my apartment.
I was in your house.
Yeah.
My memory is fucked up. My memory doesn't work right. I can't think, anytime I say, I'll be like, the other day, and someone, I'll be like, do you remember the other day when this happened? And they'll be like, 1997? Like, and then like, truly, I'll be like, oh my God, and we were texting about that. And you'll be like, nope, like sitting, like laying in bed holding each other. It's like, it's just, I don't, my memory is so bad. I was actually in your bed when this happened.
Yeah, we were talking.
Wait, okay.
Okay.
Wait, also fun fact for everyone, Talia's apartment is very cute, very clean, very well set up.
You were coming over. That's why I was
Okay, I don't give a shit.
And I got a whole like 2 days notice that he was coming over. So I had time. I'm not a very clean I'm not clean.
Messy and dirty are different things.
Messy and dirty are different things. Thank you. Dirty is like smelly, gross, things need to be wiped down. That's not my problem. There's no mold, there's no rotting food. I just like fling things on the floor and I only clean up if I like, I don't know, once a week.
Okay, wait, so.
Think so. So, okay, we'll get through it. So, eating disorder, right. This girl, she tweeted, who cares about this discussion of, are you skinny or is it just a good outfit, right? My first thought is, well, I bet you're fucking skinny. Like, I bet you've never thought about that.
Okay, and just for the person who's, okay, so people will say, there's like an internet trend of saying, are they skinny or is it, it's not, is it just a good outfit or are they just skinny?
Yes, there's like a video prompt trend that it's been a trend for.
The idea being like skinny people can wear ugly shit and people will think it's a good outfit, but it's ugly shit still.
And it's also been topical on Twitter lately. There was a huge viral tweet that this woman went to go see The Little Mermaid in her Little Mermaid costume, and she's a big body, and she wore the Little Mermaid costume and just got torn to pieces just for posting her bigger body in this costume.
Literally, like, it's leave just like, people. That's so stupid.
It really grinds my gears for someone to say. It didn't upset me. I was just kind of like, of course you're skinny. And you're saying this the same week that this woman went viral just for being fat and is getting death threats for being fat.
Right.
It was just like, of course you don't worry about that. Of course you don't have to think.
So she was saying, like, why does it matter whether I'm skinny? Like, she was like, why does this question matter? And it's like, oh, because.
It was saying why. I think her point was not even that deep. It was just like the discussion of, is she skinny or is it a good outfit? That is a boring thing to talk about. Nobody cares because it's over. Like, who gives a fuck? And the thing is, I give a shit. I think it's interesting to talk about how women in bigger bodies are perceived differently.
Yes,
and of
100%.
Course, you've never. You're close to that thing. Of course, you've never thought about that because you've never had to. It's not that deep. I'm not mad at you. I don't think you're a bad person, but I was like, let's see if she's skinny. I click on her profile. Sure enough, the thing that is pinned to her profile is a photo of her with, her ribs are showing. Like, she is that small.
She's a very thin person. Yeah.
And she has it pinned to her profile, and a lot of her photos are her showing off most of her very skinny body. And I'm like, this is a person who takes pride in their body, and it's skinny. So I screenshotted her pin tweet, and I said, just as I thought, of course you're skinny. It's not meant to be fuck you for being skinny. It's, of course you've never thought about this because you're skinny, and you're proud, which is lovely, but of course.
Yeah, it's also a little bit of like, fuck you for like not having empathy for people having an opinion.
Right.
On this. Yeah. Anyway.
Like, we can't talk about like how
Wait, so this led you getting canceled on.
Yeah. So, okay. So I quoted the tweet with that. And for 2 days, my own followers and people, I guess, like-minded to me, the tweet did fine. People were like, so true. Like, they thought it was funny. Yeah. They thought I felt that the punchline was right there. You know what I mean? And one day I woke up the third day or the second day, and it was quoted like 30 times. I'm like, okay, clearly I've upset somebody, so let's read. I'm curious to know who I upset.
Yeah.
And every single one of these people were on something that I just learned about called ED Twitter, which is Twitter for people. It's a subgroup on Twitter where they kind of exchange tips on how to be anorexic. So
that's not what I thought this was going to be.
The whole thing is just kind of, it's a lot of very, very skinny women who take a lot of pride in being skinny and are very quick to say, fuck you for being fat. Were really upset at my tweet to the point where I was like, I don't have the patience and I don't want this to gain traction here and be spun in a way that is like bad. I just deleted it.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
But I got a lot of DMs saying, really vile shit and saying, why are you so, I committed this memory. I get a DM saying, do you always foam at the mouth when you see someone skinnier than you? Fucking bitch, whatever. And I respond, I'm looking through this person's Twitter. I'm like, this is a person who's glorifying being skin and bones. Like, she really, really is terrified of any fat. It's anorexia to a point where I'm sad for her. And I just respond, I'm like, I hope you seek help and I hope that you're healthy and well. Like, I'm not,
yeah, I mean,
whatever.
all these people are clearly very unwell.
You know what she responded to me?
I don't, and I'm nervous.
Fat heart.
She's queen for that.
Fat heart.
Fat, love you.
Fat.
Fat, love you.
Fat.
Fatty, love you.
Mwah. So, yeah, I got a lot of responses like, I'm not on ED Twitter, but at least I'm not on fat bitter Twitter. I'm like, Make that a shirt. I need a shirt. Fat, bitter, Twitter unite. I guess
bitter
that's what I'm on. But I deleted the tweet because I was like, I don't need all these skeletons banging my door down. Like,
That
stop
is
eating, you
who
angry
cut
cunt.
you.
It was insane. These people are so mad at fat women. It's unbelievable. And I really
It's so crazy.
I don't mean to make light of anorexia or eating disorders. I've had them myself, as most women have. But really, really scary situation. That's it.
It's so funny because like people, I feel like most people who like, do I even want to say this? And I feel like I want to like figure out how to articulate it in this way that isn't going to sound. It's like most people who have struggled with eating disorders like don't look like they've struggled with eating disorders. Do you know what I mean?
I think that to be a woman is to at some point have contracted something, and it's just a matter of how far, to what degree did you have it and keep it. Like we've all
100%. I mean, I was absolutely anorexic and I had my anorexia year.
You had it. I had my bulimia year. I had my, if you were 13 thinking about keto, you had an eating disorder. Like that's who you were. And so many women don't know that, I was fucked up a little bit in the head due to media, my family, whatever it is. So I think that these people who have it so severely to the point where it is literally their online personality is spreading and encouraging each other. I think that's a deep
I'm
sickness.
curious how it like happens now because like I think back when I was young and it's like the skinny stuff, we should probably start answering questions soon. But like the skinny stuff, it's like no advice this week. Sorry guys. The skinny stuff when I was young was like so aggressively in the mainstream media.
Yeah.
And now it's not as much. Like the stuff that was like really violently fat phobic and really pro super thin was like front page, like magazines, like TV. And now I'm like, I think it's a little scarier now because I feel like it must be kind of like relegated to like the way that like Twitter is such a bubble and Instagram is such a bubble and TikTok are such bubbles where it's like you don't see what other people are being shown. It's like the people who are most vulnerable to that shit are being shown it without anyone else's eyes on it to be like, that's fucked up. Do you know what I mean?
Right. No, the way that algorithms work is you're fed things that they think you're going to be interested in. If you're a 14-year-old girl who's constantly researching diets, whatever, it makes sense that you would land yourself on eating disorder Twitter and therefore believe that eating disorder Twitter is Twitter. So if you find yourself surrounded by people like that in your online forum, that's not the case usually. And the locked out girl, it's nothing. I saw a crying girl on the street. I decided to do a mitzvah.
That just reminded me of a story.
Okay, you'll tell it.
No, tell yours first.
Okay, I'm doing that. God. I just saw a locked out crying girl on the street. She's sobbing. It's like 2 a.m. I don't know why I was up. I was talking to my mom on the phone or something. And I decided to do a good thing. And in Judaism, the highest form of tzedakah, which means charity, the highest, most respectable form of generosity is to do something nice and not tell anybody about it. And that never sat right with me. So I want to tell you guys, it never sat right with me. It always bugged me. They really drove it home in Hebrew school. Like the most amazing, noble thing that you can do is give and never tell. And I'm like, that second part, I'm going to pretend I didn't hear. I love to tell when I do nice things. I do nice things plenty, but I don't keep it to myself. So I took the time out of my night, I'd say about an hour and a half, to help this girl get to a locksmith and blah, 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 blah. But she was a little hysterical and desperate. First of all, I walk up to her and she's sobbing and she goes, "Oh, TikTok." I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" She's like, "Okay." It was a whole situation, but it felt nice that she recognized me. And then I walk her to this guy who tells her to come over. It's a locksmith. I've never heard of a locksmith that says come over. But
to your house?
We went to some place in the Lower East Side. I'm like, I don't feel so good about this, but she's so desperate and upset. She really needs to get back in. I'm like, I'd sooner let you stay in my apartment, because that's just the kind of girl I am, instead of get in some guy's like car and drive with this locksmith to your apartment in Greenpoint, right? She says, I'm desperate. She kind of got mad at me. She was like, "Stop telling me what to do." I'm like, okay. So I was afraid she would get murdered. So I meet this so-called locksmith. And long story short, I've seen worse looking locksmiths and I got his number. And she got back into her apartment safely, but
we all know that you also have a use for a locksmith occasionally. So.
I do need a locksmith occasionally. David, he was Israeli. I noticed his accent. I was like, "Are you Israeli?" He goes, "Yes." I'm like, "My name's Talia." And he's like, blonde, blue-eyed Talia, who can recognize an Israeli accent. He was psyched.
Wow.
Felt good for him.
Very exciting. Wait,
And
okay,
for
my
me.
thing that reminded me of something that happened to me, which was I joined the fancy gym in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
There's a new one, and it's like kind of expensive, but like I feel like I spend too much money on going out and stuff anyway. So I was like, I can afford this, like whatever. So I go, and the biggest I mean, there's like a million differences, but the lockers aren't like you don't like bring your own lock. It's like you set the combination on the lock and then like leave it. That makes sense. And there's also like a sauna and a steam room and showers. So now I like go to the gym, do all my things, and then I like shower there, do all my skincare and stuff at the gym, and then I'm like good to go for the day from the gym, which
Lovely.
is really nice. I got out of the shower like 2 days ago, and I go to open the locker and I set the combo wrong. And everything I own is inside the locker and I'm naked. Just stuck in a locker room.
Oh, wait, I don't understand. Why wouldn't you just do the combo again? I don't get it.
So like what happens is you like set the 4 dials to like the number you want the combo to be, and then you turn it to lock it,
Right.
and then you scramble it, and that's like what locks it.
Okay.
So then when I went to set it back to my combo, I clearly hadn't set it to that. Like when I did it, like I thought I did, but it was like off. So I didn't know what the combo was.
You didn't know what the new combo was.
Correct.
Okay.
Because I thought I had set it to the one I normally do.
And how naked were you?
Ball everything. What do you want? Like
Ball
I have a
naked.
towel, ball naked. And I'm like standing there and I'm like there was a guy that was like just finishing being done, and he was like leaving, and I was like, "Can I ask you a favor?" And it's like a naked man asking you for a favor in the locker room.
Can I ask, I'm trying to visualize. Did you cover up in the
Well,
front?
I have a towel around my waist.
So you're not ball naked.
Oh, well, there's like towels everywhere. It's like obviously I'm not that, but I have no other clothes
I was thinking
on.
you came up to this guy.
No,
and I was
no,
kind
no.
of expecting like a steamy situation.
No.
Like,
Well, no, this
hi.
is the thing though. So I'm
Okay.
like, hey, I'm like, can I ask you a favor? He's like, what? And I'm like, I'm locked out of my locker.
He said what like that?
Or I think he was nicer. But then he was like, I was like, can you go like ask someone to let me into like come back here and like help me get into my locker? And he's like, yeah, sure. 10 full minutes go by. No one comes back. And I'm sort of like, okay, like, I do feel like if someone tells you that there's like a naked person stuck in the locker room, it's like that should be like a priority task. Like maybe stop mopping for a second and like come help me out. So I'm just standing there. And this is where it like looks, because like people like cruise around locker rooms like trying to get head or whatever. Like that's like a thing that happens. Like sometimes in New York City.
Cruise around meaning like just come up and flirt?
Do you know what cruising means?
I need you to explain.
Cruising is like
have an idea in my head.
Cruising is like cruising is like the term for like when gay guys kind of like, it's like the act of like seeing someone in public and being like, want to hook up.
I just thought it was flirting. I always equated cruising
It's like
to flirting.
more sexual than that and oftentimes nonverbal, I think.
Okay.
Do you know?
Yeah.
'Cause like, so, but, and like it happens in locker rooms sometimes. And then like,
I see.
what, like Equinox in New York is like famous for that.
Really?
Oh my God. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm just standing in this locker room, and I also am like kind of anxious and stressed because I'm kind of trapped there, and I don't do well with like situations where I feel trapped.
Right.
So I'm like pacing. So I'm just like naked walking around this locker room. Everyone else is like doing normal locker room things, like showering, and it's like, but I can't get in the shower because then like I'm gonna miss the person when he comes to help me.
Right.
So I was there for like 25 minutes just walking around like naked, and then finally
you should complain.
I just can't. I don't do that.
I know. I wouldn't either.
But then I got out and it was fine.
It's so easy for me to say, oh my God, you should call someone and complain. Meanwhile, I haven't like ever
never
sent a
do
dish
that.
back. I've never returned clothes I don't want
100%.
anymore. Nothing.
Okay, wait. So let's do some calls.
Okay. Yeah, the point of the podcast. Let's get to it. Let's do the part that you came here for. Do you think people really come for our advice? You know what? Actually, my best friend Ezra from home said that our advice, he was listening to it in the car and it really helped him.
Whoa.
And he called
Ezra. Yeah.
He's the most wonderful person I know.
You're asking for, okay, this is long. I guess it's actually 2 minutes long. The text just looks long. Okay, want me to play it?
Yeah, let's do it.
You're asking for a bad fucking roommate story? God, where do I even fucking start? I moved down to San Diego from LA, and I was living with a girl I found on Facebook Marketplace. I know, my own fucking fault. I really wanted to live in San Diego, sorry. She was super normal, like completely gaslit me and lied to me about her being like a meal prep queen, loves to work out, barely went out, had a boyfriend. I was like, oh my God, perfect. Like, sounds like an awesome girl. I get there. she fucking literally, and like, I'm all about like being a hoe, like, come on, obviously, like, fuck men, like, let's just fuck whoever we want. But it was like, I kept count because I was being introduced to so many different men, and it was like 26 men in the very few months I lived with her, and it was alarming just because like do your thing, girl, but also, I don't know, it just feels unsafe to live in like a 2-bed, 1-bath, also the 1-bath, I'll get to that. And yeah, so that was like the first red flag. She would pop her zits in our shared bathroom mirror and leave the pus on the fucking mirror. And like, you know, like the hair that you pull out of the drain catcher, like, don't you normally like throw that in the trash can? No, she would leave it on the wall, like literally plop it on the wall. And then the worst, I was out of town. I traveled a lot because I was trying to avoid my roommate. And one day I came home, I was like so ready to be in my bed. And I was like, oh my God, like someone definitely slept in my bed. But I was like, you know what, it doesn't matter. Like, I just need to like go to bed. I'm so exhausted. I just have like a 7-hour drive.
What?
I'm taking a nap. And then I wake up and I find a cum towel under my bed, a cum rag. The cum rag, like someone had literally slept in my bed. I asked her about it. She lied about it. Literally moved out a month later. She was fucking heinous. Worst 6 months of my life. Wish her all the best, but yeah, she was not for me. Fuck her.
Wait, this took some twists and turns, I have to say, because I was not on her side at the beginning.
I wasn't necessarily, well, I empathized and I understood, but I just don't understand why it would bother you so much. Like
you literally, if your roommate is having sex with a bunch of people, I don't think you're like allowed to like have an opinion about that.
Unless the guys are like coming in and constantly leaving shits in the toilet and like being disgusting, then you can say like, hey, can you tell them to be nicer? Or if the sex is loud and it's
keeping you awake,
right,
or like whatever.
Right.
But if you're just like bothered by the number of people someone's having sex with,
you don't get
like,
to complain about safety. Like it's this person's, nothing's gonna happen. I don't know. Is it fair to say that?
I think it like
I just think that's a stupid excuse to say like, oh, I don't feel safe because there's guys coming in and out. It's like all it takes is one guy. It doesn't matter the number of people coming in and out.
Yeah, but I don't know. Let people get laid. That part is not an issue to me. When they left the pus on the mirror, it took a turn. There's not even advice here. Like they're not really asking for advice. Like, yeah. But it does lead, the question it leaves me with is like the etiquette around having sex when you have roommates.
This is why I don't live with people. Like I pay extra money to not have to have these conversations. I don't want ever, and look, my neighbors can hear me having sex. I'm sure they do, but I don't know them, so I don't care. I don't ever want to have to walk into a living room and look somebody in the eye after they heard me fucking. I did that enough in college and I'm done with it. So I am willing to, and I understand not everybody can afford this. I can't afford to live alone, but I spend so much of my money on rent. I put in that extra money because I'm like, it's my mental health. I'd rather like literally eat less than
and is it
have
that
to live
much
with a
about
roommate.
Is it mostly about like privacy around sex, or is it just like privacy in general?
In general, I want to come in and like I don't want anyone to know. I don't even want a doorman. I don't want anyone knowing where I'm going, who I'm coming in with, when I'm coming and going, what food I'm coming and going with. Like I just don't like people in my business. So that's why. So when it comes to etiquette around having roommates, it's like my solution for that is stop having those conversations, even if it means 60% of your income goes toward rent. To me, I'll do it. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't think I feel the same because I've never lived fully alone.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like a conversation. I don't know. I live with gay men now, so it's very much like someone's coming over and no one cares. Like, it's not like an issue. Granted, like I'm not really trying to like bring someone over like while everyone's home. That's like not the vibe. But like if I did, I don't think it would like be an issue.
Have you ever had to discuss it to the point where it's like you have to sit somebody down and say you're being really loud and it's difficult?
That's the other thing. I've never lived with someone who's had like loud sex. Like I guess like that's not an issue I've ever dealt with. I feel like there was one time in college where there was like maybe a bed moving or like a headboard banging. But like I don't know. Like I think sometimes like people who are like, I could hear them fucking. I'm like, you were listening.
Yeah.
You were listening.
You wanted to. Put on some headphones. It's not that hard.
Put on. Yeah. And also like it's like your fucking wind chime thing where it's like, there is like these parameters of like what you're entitled to. Like like if you have roommates or you like you're not entitled. Unfortunately, I'm just gonna say like you're not entitled to like perfect serene silence. Like
No.
you're entitled to like a quiet space and you're entitled to like XYZ. But like those are just like sacrifices of reality and like. Other people should like you are not entitled to like complete perfect silence. You're not entitled to like everything being exactly the way you like it. Like some people have roommates like don't get that and it drives me nuts.
I had a roommate in college. We're not friends anymore because I couldn't deal with it. She used to make my bed for me.
Ooh, no.
My bed was on the other side of the room.
Ooh.
And I would tell her because I loved her and I was like, okay, this is how you operate. You can make my bed if you cannot look at an undone bed, fine. But you have to recognize I'm really trying my best here. And it would cause passive aggression that I would like leave a teacup in the room or teacup, a mug, whatever, in the room. I am a messy roommate and that's why I live alone. But when I had,
no, but it's also,
I didn't have
this
the
is
option.
Like painting the clear picture where like you had a traumatic roommate also.
Well, and I'm sure but in her eyes, maybe I was traumatic in that I didn't ever make the bed. I would leave clothes on the floor sometimes, but it was like, I learned it was my side of the room that I would make messy. And I would always just be like, you didn't have to live with me again. Like this, I would have liked to live with somebody a little bit messier. I don't think that I was ridiculously rude, but it's just not our style. I would get into this debate with my
ex a lot because like he's very tidy and like I'm not. And it's like, I still don't know where I land on it because it's like, I would oftentimes like, I remember like I would express sometimes like it's fucked up that like societally it's like you're considered right.
Right.
Like the fact that like you need to have everything off the floor at all times is like, and it, like, do I like when everything's off the floor? Yes. Sometimes like I love when my room is clean. I genuinely love when my room is clean. But like today I had so much shit to do before I came to this recording. And like part of XYZ of how I had to take a bunch of clothes out and like try a bunch of shit on. It's like, I can't be folding shit up and putting it back. Like everything's on the floor right now. Right. When I get back to my room, it's going to be, and like, again, not disgusting, but like everything's everywhere.
Right.
All at once. Like,
and that's how you operate.
And it's
and why is it like we're the bad guys in life?
No,
like,
but we are the villain. If you're the messy one, you're like the villain. And when you talk to neat freaks about it, they're like, it's like trying to convince them that like, it's like when you try to complain, like it's, maybe I shouldn't say that. It's like when you try to explain to like, I was going to say when you try to explain to like old people that gender's fluid, but like, do you know what I mean? Where it's like, you try to explain a concept that they just like perceive as so innate and be like, it's actually not like, that's not like nature's law. Do you know what I mean? It's
you
like,
don't have to be neat. You don't have to, that doesn't need to be the way that you feel the most comfortable. And as long as you're being respectful of people's personal space.
Yeah, all those TikToks of the people who like go to the grocery store and buy a billion things and then put them in all the weird little containers when they get home. Those people, I know I would literally be so chilled to be in their presence, horrified to be in their presence.
There's two types of people in the world, and I just don't like that. There's people who get along with those people, and there's people who can't. It's not that there's dirty people and clean people, because there are spectrums of that. But I can't even be in the same room. I could never marry someone who is that tidy. It's actually a deal breaker for me. It is weird, and they will always win the argument. That's why I can't do it. They're not willing to compromise. I am willing to make myself. It's the same way I feel about there are people who are always cold, and I'm a person who is always boiling. I'm always hot. So I always say in my place or wherever I am, in my house, you can hang meat in the house I grew up in. My mom and I are the same. My dad always complains. It's literally a meat freezer. And my dad would be like so upset about how cold it is. And it's like, first of all, the cold people, because they're all like, I'm always cold. I associate it with like frail, tiny, cute people with big eyes, like doe eyes. Oh, I'm always cold. They're always like the nice, quote unquote, people who are always cold and so fragile. The sweaty, gross, monstrous, gross people are always hot. And my dad was always like, why? It's like, I'm always cold and you guys always have to have the air conditioning on. And it's like, put on a jacket. I can't take off my skin. There is nothing that I can do.
It's right, too.
There is nothing I can do. It really is easier to be you. It honestly is. Admit it. So that's how I feel about the neat people. It's like, I'm trying my best. It's easier for me to be neat than for you to be dirty and become dirty like me. So I'm going to try my best for you. But you have to recognize that my best is my best. And like, there's a limit.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%. Okay, wait. Let's do one more call before, like, quickly.
I watch porn really loud. Do you think that's a problem for roommates?
Do you use headphones?
I live alone, so I don't care. And if people walk by my apartment and they hear, I don't care. I'm like deaf. I need things to be super loud. Like my TV, I'm sure my neighbors can hear, but nobody's ever complained. And the minute that they complain, I'll do something. But that's another thing. I don't care about people hearing me watch porn. I don't care about people if there's FBI
I found an
agents in
advice
my
question.
camera.
Sorry, but I'm listening.
Nothing. That's
You
it.
don't
I
care?
was just trying to fill the void.
I don't. They can also edit, but no, I know what you. Today something really scary happened, which is I got like a really important phone call while watching porn, and it like came up on my laptop, and I was like naked, and I was like, if I hit the wrong button right now, like it's gonna be so bad. Do you know what I mean?
Wait, you got a call while you were.
I was like watching porn on my laptop,
Yeah.
and like my phone is linked to my laptop, so then all of a sudden, like
Right.
everything
it
starts
stopped and
ringing.
yeah.
The video starts playing.
Oh,
there's
that's
like a
an
phone.
issue.
And I'm just like, oh, I
Yeah,
hate
you have
it.
to like mute it first.
Okay.
I found out the Queen of England died while I was watching lesbian porn, and I didn't stop watching after I found out.
Hi, guys. Big fan of the content. Talia, I'm a fellow Big Titty Committee member, and we seem to attract the worst men, Republicans, as you would say. Okay, anyways, so I hooked up with this guy last weekend, and, like, honestly, if I were him, I would have been embarrassed by the performance. Like, he couldn't keep it up. He kept being like, oh, these damn condoms don't work. I'm like, no, that's not
Fucking
it.
loser.
Your dick is just too small and you got the wrong size condom. But he was cute, he's nice, he's like in my center friend group, so I did want to keep kind of talking. And we were like texting a little bit, but he starts taking like a full day to respond, which is my pet peeve. I'm like, okay, you're interested, fine, I won't respond. So yesterday he took a full day to respond to me again, and it's something like kind of, there's nowhere to go from there, so I don't respond. And then he follows up a few hours later and asks me a question. And I'm like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. And I'm like, oh yeah, definitely, you should see this one show. It's very cool. Like keeping the conversation, you know, keeping a rapport going. And he just goes, haha. I'm like, okay, dude, first off, you texted me, and then I didn't respond, and then you texted me a question, presumably to have a conversation. But why does someone do that? He seemed nice. He didn't seem like a dick. Though he was like weirdly confident for someone who had such a poor sexual showing. So how should I interpret this? Should I give up? I obviously didn't respond to him just saying, haha, like,
Okay.
there's nowhere to go with that. But I don't know, I'm not like fully ready to give up. Okay, thanks guys. Have a great day, love
You
you.
have an immediate theory.
What should you do?
He's chopped.
He's chopped. Oh, as in he's out. Yeah. Well, I understand how difficult it is to hear after you've given time with your body. Let somebody enter you. So trust me, but he doesn't like you, and that sucks. You gotta stop. Why is he not texting you back for a day? Because he doesn't like you enough. And it's not that he's disgusted by you. He should like you, but it's not cool what he's doing of fucking you and then ignoring you. But that is not playing a game. He's ignoring you because he's not interested the way that he needs to be. Maybe he'll come back around, but the only way that's going to happen is if you back up, stop responding. Why are you like, really? He's not responding to me. What should I do to address the situation? You stop talking to him and you find someone who likes you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Two things I have to say.
I'm so harsh. Sorry.
No, I don't think you're wrong. One, if you're confused as to why he's like still texting you after all of that, I think sometimes when guys have a poor sexual showing like that, they can't just let it end. They're
Yeah.
like, I have to like get them emotionally invested a little bit and then end it so I'm still on top. And it's not like I couldn't get my dick up and then I walked
Right.
away. That's
Right.
100% a thing that happens. And then also, I am now I will say like I feel a little bit different about texting when dating now that I'm for the first time in a place in my life where I actually am sometimes busy and like overloaded to the point where I actually can't text.
Right.
Even if I wanted to text someone, I don't have I have friends who will text me and I will be like, I don't have the bandwidth to do this right now.
Yeah.
And in my 20s, that was like never the case. And so now, like if I want to be texting someone, if I want to see someone again, if I'm into it, I will set up a date or I will set up
Right.
something.
Oh yeah, but
So that there's something
it's
in the
not
future.
about the lack of texting. I don't text guys I like back, or yeah, you know what I'm
No,
saying.
I'm just making that clear.
But
I
like,
think that
you
like
would know if he really wanted to see you again.
100%.
Is my point.
And like if you're hemming and hawing over like this the like syntax of a text or like the wording of it, like that's not going to be the thing that makes someone likes you. So it's like there's no point.
Yeah, don't stop putting thought into this. The minute you withdraw your attention, the minute you go somewhere else, stop thinking about it, he'll be interested in you again, and by that time you won't care. So don't go back. I really don't think that you should, especially because the sex sucked. We need to remind ourselves this all the time. I do it too. it's so annoying when somebody doesn't like you the way that you want them to, especially after the sex with them was so bad that your brain is sort of like, bad sex, why no like? Why me like him more? Like, you know what I mean? It's like it doesn't compute. Like, why would you not be begging to see me and try it again and prove yourself to me? Why do I like someone who couldn't even please me? It's because you want to know why he doesn't like you.
Wait,
like you're trying to prove it to yourself.
At the start of next week's episode, I want to have a conversation about dating someone who's like, you're not enjoying the sex. I feel like that's like the conversation to start the next episode with, because I want to talk about that.
And having crushes on people who you know that you don't like. Yeah, can we talk about that? It's a real thing.
Wait, let's save it. Let's do that top of next week.
Okay.
That's
anyway, come back next week.
Okay,
but
that's top of next week. This has been. Wait,
are we done?
We're done for the first hour.
Oh. Wait, I had something else to say. Oh, okay, girl, if it makes you feel better, she said something about small penises. And
yeah, like the condom not being the right size.
I had that thought. Okay. I dated a guy for a really long time on and off, but was very hung up on a guy who needed to use special condoms called iron grip. They're like finger condoms. They fit your pointer finger. It's like the ones that you put on while you have to do your pin pad.
It's like when you cut your finger at a restaurant.
It's when you cut your finger at a restaurant. Look it up. Have a great week.
This has been Basic Training. Bye.